Okay, so we're doing something different today. I think I showed you guys on a video a while back. Sugarcane. We started some sugarcane nodes. I will take this guy. You can see the roots already. And I don't normally start these in bags, but I had these bags that I had torn some things out I was trying to start, like some lavender that didn't work. So we got to repot these up. Now these can go right in the soil if you're in that area. I'm not, okay? It may look like we're in that area. I'm gonna actually rip this bag, but we're not. We're still going to the 40s at night, and there's no sugarcane that thrives on the 40s. So even though we could be 90 during the day, this stuff does not like that nighttime temp. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pot these up and put them back on the heat mats in the house under lights until we probably get more into end of April, because we really need some heat for this stuff. Now it doesn't mean you can't grow it. In fact, if you never get heat and you're like in Alaska, the top of the dome or something where it's frozen year round, grow it in your house. You got some solar, you got some electricity, it does quite well. So we're gonna put it in these pots just to get rolling, and the ginger, and I will kind of show you. In fact, these pots I had turmeric in, I forgot about, which is kind of funny because I do that a lot. I was saving some turmeric that was out here barely growing, because even though it did great, it would turn right back around and not do great because of the cold. And for 6 months out of the year, if I've got too much cold, I'm not getting the growth I want. So in every one of these was turmeric, which there is a little dead piece of it right there. Looks like a little turd. Oh, no, that was a little dirt, a little clay. But each one of these had a turmeric bulb, and what's funny is there's like nothing in it. Oh, that's mushy. That would have been a little piece of turmeric right there. But here's an example of what I pulled out of one of them. And you could see, I mean, it was wanting to die, but it still had plenty of growth going. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy planted again, because it needs to start rooting where it's warm. So this, I'm going to actually put in my tray that goes in the house, but we're going to take these and start planting. Not that guy. If it looks like this still, and you're not seeing anything grow, this could be a guy that dies and doesn't even grow. What sucks is you can see it did start growing, and then all of a sudden they just die. And I don't ever know why, you know. Too much heat, not enough heat, you got me. I think it is the heat on my mat though, because even this one's trying to get limp. Look at that. So it's a possibility even the mat is going a little too hot, which, you know, I can't find the happy medium, guys, but we just constantly keep trying. Let's see some of these others. Hopefully they're not as bad. Yeah, I think it is though, the heat that's cooking them, because every one of these were doing great. And look, there's a little guy there. Yeah, this colder one feels better. So we're gonna go through and get all these guys that look good here, and we're gonna put them in some pots, and then we'll keep the other guys, like these guys here, so they can keep trying to root. But meanwhile, when you do see a little something happening, let's get these out of here and pot them up. Now here's a good one here. I'm gonna guess that you're gonna have to be careful. So when my house was super cold over winter, the heat mat was ideal. Now we're getting in these hot months and it wants the heat, but I think it might do fine without the heat mat at this point, because it's getting so warm. You can see all these little guys here like this. So this is what we're gonna do, is we're gonna pot these up. Now I'm gonna reuse old soil. So all of these right here that were from last year's turmeric that I left outside, and you can just about say when, oh, here's another one, when you're gonna leave it outside, there's another one there. It's not gonna grow. So it's time, and fortunately I did this probably close to winter, so it ironically probably went dormant. You know, it was perfect, so it saved some of it. But what we're gonna do over here is, this is where I've got some peat moss in here. And this is where I kind of get my stuff started. So this is what I do when I buy cuttings. Before I plant the cuttings, I take them all, and to make sure that they're gonna grow, I first put them in wet soil. I don't just plant them in the ground, because some of these are questionable if they even grow. This is what you want to see for sure. A little bit of growth down there. I always do a scrape test too, just to make sure. I've shown you guys, scrape it with your finger. See, look, this guy's already dying. because it should be, I'll show you a good one. It should be green like this.
Oh, that's super green.
So now this guy, and this is common, these were just bought at Tractor Supply.
Wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, if you lose some, who cares? You know why? Because you really only need one of these or a few of these to get going, and you're going to be harvesting next year. Tons. So it's okay that we sometimes get a dead one. And you know, sometimes actually, if you go down far enough, you might find green. No, this guy's, when you find brown all the way down,
yeah.
Brown all the way down, get rid of it. Okay, but we know this guy's good. And so this is how I start them. You see what's starting to happen? You want to see this. And this is the easiest way that you can get cuttings from people. And you see, it was just a cutting, okay? This sideways growth here is all on its own, but you can see the little nubs turning white.
Oh, yeah.
I think I had 8 or 10, and I'm seeing pretty decent on all of them. And like I say, all I'm doing, and this is a nice method because what if you can't get to them? You know, what if you're too busy? And always do the scrape test. This one feels green, but you know what? It's soft. And when they're soft, let's see if it's going already, see? It's a little green, but it's going. We're going to go ahead and give it another week. If it dies, we don't care. Another guy. Commonly, if you guys get these at the local hardware stores or whatever, and you'll see they're in the bag there's a green one there.
Nice.
There's one more. So you'll see them, they're in a bag, in a box. Bushel and berry, all those little names. They can be very reliable to grow. So definitely, if you see them for a good price, get your hands on them. I do. This is the Heritage Raspberry, and I purposely bought these for I think these were $8 a stick or $8.99 a stick. But if you know anything about the Heritage Raspberry around here is hard to find, and you're going to always find it potted for about $25. I don't want to spend $25 on one plant. So I love when I find the cuttings, because now I've got a bunch of plants for a good price. Okay, let me get these out of our way, because I don't want to disturb these, but I need some of this soil. And these over here, I might as well show you the raspberries for this year. Oh, look, I just ripped off my little growth. Whoops. But guess what? There's another plant right there. So now, just because that broke off, that's still growing. That's what's cool about raspberries and stuff. Don't throw it away. That is alive. That root makes a whole nother plant. Okay, so this is hawthorns here. I'll show you real quick. What are you looking at? Black hawthorn. All you loving the hawthorn berry. So these are hawthorns right here, and I have no time to plant right now, so I commonly will keep them wet, and we're going to actually undo these guys now because they don't need to be tied anymore. So if you're like me and you're sitting on a bunch of this stuff, just keep it wet, okay? The black hawthorn's amazing. The berry is for heart problems, angina. I mean, it's remarkable what all it can help. I don't think you'll need any heart medications if you were having hawthorn in your yard. Now, they talk a lot about the red hawthorn berry. This is the black hawthorn, which is the native one to America, whereas the red is not native. I think it's English. But I'm going to free these guys up because I forgot I still had these tied up. Okay, we're going to let some root development happen here. And I thought I'd just show you since we're sitting out here enjoying everything. Okay, so here we go. Now these were all bare root. Each one of these can be 40 feet tall. Isn't that remarkable?
Wow.
Separate some of these guys. You can already see the growth right there. You see it at the top, you see it at the bottom.
Yeah. Ooh.
We're gonna actually separate all these. You're looking for white. And we know when they're sprouting on the top that they're definitely alive. It's the only question you have to do is when you don't see that sprouting. Oh, there it is. Happy, guys. There we go. When you don't see sprouting, do the scratch test, guys. A lot of people go, the cuttings are dead. I don't think they're good. You don't know what they are until you do a scratch test, because a lot of times they totally look dead and they are not. Got a fly that wants me really bad here. But it's time I detangle these since we're already sitting here, and give them a little more space. So like I say, now this is from Burnt Ridge Nursery. All of you looking for some fun medicinal plants, and you're looking to get in affordably. You're not looking to get in at $49.99 a plant. I've got a few connections. I'm not going to get you any good deals because they are a good deal in themselves, but TN Nursery right now has got a good sale, buy one, get one free on all of their plants. Burnt Ridge, I am a fan because of the amount of medicinal plants they carry, which are very difficult to find at normal nurseries or anywhere. And if you weren't banned from Etsy like me, then you could shop on Etsy. But then it's questionable about all the China suppliers and weird shit up there, because I tried to buy some blue lilies on there and totally got scammed. Pakistani was faking out an ad on it, since they own Etsy now, for all I know. And it really sucks. So I would not consider Etsy a reliable source for plants. I would be very, very careful shopping from it, because the minute you don't get your stuff, where are you going to get your refund? Like me, the $79, where is it coming from? Well, it's not. You can go through PayPal if you pay through PayPal and try to get them to cover it, but it's a real pain in the butt, so use reliable sources. Burnt Ridge Nursery, friggin' amazing, guys. Okay, so let's move these guys out of the way now that I'm happy and got them all ready to go. Let's get them back in here, because these little guys need moisture. It is too hot today. All right. I'll show you what else is going in here since you're going through all my stuff. Let's see here. I've got a whole new raspberry patch I'm doing, and then we'll get to potting this. But oh, and we're going to talk about the impact bundle. Well, I'm digging through all this. Remember, folks, the impact bundle this week, we are advertising March 31st. It goes on sale. You only have 10 days. That's it, not 11. Okay, so like last year, many people the day after, oh, I'm ready to buy. Well, guys, you got to get on it a little quicker than that, okay? That's what makes it special. We only do it for a short period of time. So now these guys, I think this was from Burnt Ridge Nursery. These I'm loving. This is called a Southern Baba berry, and it's a raspberry. And I had never in my life seen the Southern Baba berry. And I mean, look at these. These are just freaking raspberry canes. I've never seen them so thrifty. I mean, they're amazing. I think there's 10 in here. And I normally, for this area, was going to go for the heritage, just because that's the most common red raspberry, grows well, until you read about the Baba berry. And that's why I got it. This thing is, all you Southern California, hot environment people like me, that it can be a little bit intense on the berries. They do like zone 8s, but they sometimes don't like zone 9. Guess what? Read about the Baba berry, okay? And get ready to get floored, because this thing is so highly productive. It's not a commercial berry, but you would think it is. I think some commercial producers do try to use this one just because it's so productive. So I'm excited to give it a try, guys. We always love new things here. And yes, I do have a plant problem. It could be worse. Ray is getting the plant problem too. She now has found her drug, and it is scary, because once you find it, you want more of it. So what we're going to do is get the soil ready first. And I've got all these pots that this is regular organic potting soil here. Now it's already been used, so I wouldn't call it the best. So that's why what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of my peat mix in it. And then I've got, this is organic fertilizer, and it's pretty much chicken poop. And I always have a 1-ton pallet of organic chicken fertilizer in my garage, because even though I deal with tons of turds daily, and that's I like to give to the plants, it is very difficult to haul those turds everywhere on this property. So anything in the front yard does not get the turds, because I'm too tired of hauling back and forth. And one wheelbarrow load doesn't do anything. And remember, folks, we don't own a tractor. We don't own a razor. I don't own a bitchin' golf cart. I don't own shit, okay? My husband gets all the money for his new cars and the things he needs. And, well, you know, I'm running my 22-year-old truck, which I love, and my money goes into some plants. So, anyway, let's get these guys potted up, and we got to have fertilizer. If you're dealing with me, like me, with an older soil, just mix in some fresh, okay? It loves it. That's all I do. Is I get a little, this has some nice mycorrhizae in it. We love that. We get a little fungi in there, a little fertilizer, and just regenerate that old soil. That's all you got to do. This doesn't need a ton of nourishment. And there we go. So there, look, we just turned crap into something wonderful.
Nice.
Ready to rock and roll. So we'll take our first pot. Now, ginger, I don't like potting real deep. Now, again, you don't want to pot it right at the surface either, but it is going to go down like potatoes and stuff. So we're just going to get these guys filled up because they are ready for their next life. And right now, as you can see, they're like, Mommy's killing us in the trough when she forgets about us. That's why that one looks sad and wilty, because I can't seem to get my game on. So here's what we're going to do. Boom. These make it very simple, guys. Ginger tells you where to plant upwards. When I get these started, you'll notice they're always on their sides because I don't know where the development's going to be. I mean, some of them can have lots of development. You can see little nodes trying to grow. Other ones can get soft immediately and die. There's some good nodes there. So most of these with these nodes, even the ones that got a little hot that looked like I was killing them because the heat mat, I'll tell you, it's supposed to only go to 80. Sometimes I go in there, it feels like it's like 102. You're like, ah, my gosh. They're not super reliable to keep at a temp because how it operates is your home is heating up, they're heating up too. It's not regulated, okay? It just comes in at a certain wattage, as hot as can be. So we've got that little guy, and basically, I'm actually gonna put a little more soil under it because I would like it to be a little higher at the top. Boom. Okay, there's our guy. Sink him in, and this is the start of this guy's new life right there. I don't pat anything down. That's it. And that's going to go back in one of these trays. I think I could probably fit about 6 to 8 of those pots in one of these trays. It'll go under my heat lamp, or not my heat lamp, my lights on my rack, because it can't take the cold right now. It just cannot handle it, and we don't want to force it because it becomes then a setback. I've done that. I love forcing stuff. It doesn't work out, just so you guys know. Maybe you're like me and you've already tried, but everything I try to force in my life doesn't work, so I'm kind of learned that you got to just go with the flow of stuff. Let's put a little more of this in here, and I get tons of this stuff. You guys are wondering what this is. It's Pro Mix. I probably thousands of bags of this stuff. I love it. You get it at Home Depot. Sunshine makes the organic peat and their Pro Mixes. I really like the Pro Mix number 4. Again, because why? It comes with a mycorrhizae or mycorrhizae. I don't even know. Don't even know, guys, how to pronounce it. I just know this. I love this one because it's got the pure light, and just there's just nothing that doesn't grow in it, you know, and that's kind of hard to do with a lot of soil. So start off with something good so that your plants can thrive. All right, let's finish filling this guy up. Here's another beefer. I know the flies are, at least you got pants on, Rhea. The flies are finding my hairy legs, and it's amazing. Like, you get a hot day and all of a sudden there's a million flies. Okay, and this guy's probably going to cause more because, again, so like potatoes, I try to keep only one node, but some of them I get many, and so just let it go. I mean, I don't want to cut it down to just a smidge of a piece, so there we go. Now, this soil's already damp. I'm not going to give it any water today. The first watering will be more when it dries out, looking like more like this, because I do not want to overdo the water on these guys. They are sensitive to too much, and they rot, and that stinks when you've gone this far. I can't tell you how many times with some of these I have gone all the way and then been like, well, I just killed it. So if you're anything like me, be prepared for the worst. And the good news is you can always try again. Even though you may feel it didn't work out. I've done this a million times and just barely been successful. That's why now I'm doing the indoor thing, because our climate struggles just so much. But I can't keep buying ginger and turmeric the way I am. So one year I had a success outside with the turmeric, real big success. But it was short-lived because the following year, boy got a hold of me fast and made sure it all died. But it must have been a warmer year is why it was doing well. All right, let's get this all fixed up. And, you know, I like potting up in a nice shady spot near the front door like this. I can't stand doing any of this in the sun. It's just too hot.
Way too hot.
Yeah, we can sit here watching our little suntea over there, making us some nice tea here that we're going to be drinking later. Get that little guy in there. So most of these all sprouted quite well, and the ones, again, that didn't, I killed them, just so you guys know. of neglect and everything else I commonly do. I can tell right away when I have ruined something because it'll be doing so well and then it's not. Okay. We got quite a few pieces though here. Quite a few buried pieces. I'm gonna pot up all of these that even just have little nubs today because it's time. It is time. And I even have a super hot room. I could probably put them in that, but there's not enough light in it. So that's the thing is once we've got the nublet growing, folks, once you're looking at that right here, it means it's time to get light on it. You can have it while it's sprouting in a dark place, it's fine. But you cannot get it sprouting and then keep it in that dark place. It's need chlorophyll exchange now. It's waiting. It's like, all right, what are you gonna do? All right, and let's do one of these. I'll do one of these sugar canes too. Now the sugar cane, again, whatever sugar cane you've started, make sure it's for your area. This is California gold here, is what they call it. I just bought a few pieces to see if I could be successful, and it's just very similar to the ginger and stuff. Now, try to keep its root ball intact when you're pulling it out of whatever pot or bag after getting it going. But this is really simple stuff, guys. You can see it looks almost like sorghum as it's growing, if any of you have grown sorghum.
That's what I was thinking when you said sugar
Yeah, it
cane.
looks
I
a
didn't even-
lot like sorghum. I would imagine all those canes are probably from similar families as why. Now this will go in the ground, but being that I'm not gonna be able to get it in the ground for a few months, I can't keep it in that bag. It's gotta be transplanted because it wants to root more, wants a happier environment. So let's give it that. And we'll set those off to that side, even though it's pretty obvious what's what. And we just keep going. And maybe I'll find more turmeric in here from my last year. What's funny is, oh, there's another piece, see? And you can tell when it's okay, because if I squeeze and it's hard, that means we're good to go. That's the sign. And you can see it was rooting until I just gave up on it. We'll keep it. So you guys are at the grocery store and you see some turmeric or ginger. You're thinking, maybe I'll give it a try. I say yes, give it a try. If you've got a sunny location in your kitchen or your living room, you know, the day we all had potted plants, get back to it. It's kind of fun. You know, you pick something worthwhile. Here's another piece. This one's soft though. This one, mushy. It's a goner, boom. And I'm gonna reuse all this soil, folks, because I get it from a local supplier here. So it's super good soil. I don't waste it. I saw some roots, but I never saw anything with it. Almost has become sand, my soil.
Jeez.
That's why we're gonna add this stuff to it. That's why we're adding some of this stuff, because a little peat or cocoa core or whatever the heck you guys like to use, I'm a fan. It holds moisture a little nicer. Like I say, rather than sometimes your soil can just be a little sandy after a while, and that's just not going to work. We want it to drain well, but we don't want it to drain that well.
Since we're on the topic of trees too, so since when I get my trees, would I add something like that since it's a tree, like that you're grabbing?
So if you get your trees and you're ready to plant, and you're getting a bare root like this, I commonly will just bury these and plant immediately. The only time I do this, so if you get your trees though and you go, oh, the kids and I got too much going on, I don't think I can get to it this week. And you're thinking, maybe not even next week. Uh-oh, maybe I shouldn't have bought those trees. No, you never say that. Get a tub or a trash cans, get something and start. We don't need to cover these, like let's say that tree right there. Now, right now it's fine, it's bagged, but it only lasts so long and it needs water. So after a couple weeks, if I'm not gonna be able to give that water and plant it, get it in something where it feels planted. It's not planted, of course, and you're gonna pull it back out. So I'm not packing it in with soil around it. I'm leaving it loose, like these guys here. These are for Rhea, actually. These are her rose hips. I just leave them loose like this, and you can see how tiny they come. This is how you buy them affordable. I think it was, these are rose hips, Nikita Rose, I believe, and it is my favorite. It says large pink flowers and big red hips. So this is how you buy them affordably. And they look like little rose bushes is all. And that's kind of what they are. And what I'm doing is keeping them happy for her. And you can see, I think this guy here, oh no, it's not. The ones I planted the other day already started growing the second they went in the ground. So as soon as they hit the warmth of the soil, they're going to take off. But this is cold down here. So it almost keeps them dormant too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm trying not to activate. Now I did put this in the sun for a few days because I was trying to get the raspberry and the hawthorns to start showing that they were going to come to life. Nice. Because sometimes when I get sticks and I can't plant them, like I say, if you can't plant those right away, then do this, because then you're going to know what's alive and what's not too. Right. And sometimes we do get fuddy-duddies. You can't blame the supplier. Cuttings are like this, guys. I sell cuttings too, and I know not every one of you are going to grow it correctly. It's nothing against you, okay? It's nothing against me. But cuttings can be difficult if you don't know the right technique and you don't put it out at the right time, or one mistake and you've got dead cuttings over there, just like you guys all have. So I get it. Okay, let's get that guy back in there. So that's the only time, Rhea, like I say, you buy too much like me. And I don't know, Rhea's getting there.
I know.
You buy too much at one time. It's never a, oh, I shouldn't have. It's a just, okay, get a piece of paper out and start writing down what are you going to do first, when are you going to do it, get a date set so you have a plan. It's just like the trees they had sitting. You want a plan. If you don't have a plan, you probably won't do anything. But when you got that plan, and I commonly will, like I say, I'm a big old-fashioned, just put it on a piece of paper, so it's sitting in my face, reminding me, oh yeah, these guys I would have loved to already planted, but I've been hit up with so many things that were not of my own, helping, you know, family members, and I'm tired of it all. I want to get back to my farming life. It's been really exhausting on me, and you know, it's a plus that you get to help others, but on the other hand, sometimes it's just like, what's happening in my life? So that's why you guys probably haven't seen as much as normal, because I'm helping others sell a home and fix it up, and hopefully that will be done soon. Okay, let's get more of them going. This ginger is just so happy. It makes me excited to think that we're going to have fresh ginger, and you guys will be able to buy it from me if I'm a success, because I'm hoping after these guys grow, I won't be selling right away. Because how I like to roll is once it grows and gives me an abundance like garlic, I hoard that to grow again. That's how I get going. If I sell it to you guys, we ain't gonna have anything, because I'm putting all my eggs in one basket. So I never do that. I always wait for the second harvest. So the first go is strictly, let's see what we can get out of this. Now I've done this enough years to pretty much know where I'm a failure. So I'm pretty convinced this time it's gonna be a lot easier. Now here's a big daddy. Let's see what's going on with him. Yep, just one piece. Looks like no other nodes have grown on this guy. So here's an example where there's a bunch of nodes and none of them grew. Okay, none of them. This one kind of barely tried. So that's why never get your ginger and cut it apart right away. I take the whole hands and start trying to grow them to see, because like potatoes, people go, oh, be sure to cut off where all the eyes are. Nothing grows. Well, yeah, because only one eye out of 10 were growing, and you assumed all of them were growing, and then when you remove them all, you've got this really weak, tiny eye. So I've learned again, don't do that. Let's see what's growing first. Then you can decide. Oop. I guess that means to take a sip when the drink falls over. One of my customers bought me this. Oh. I have the best customers, thank you all. They buy me cool mugs, fun stuff like body and spa stuff, because they know I'm wiped out and probably need a little healing. So they give me some pampering my stuff. I love it. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling. I got about 1 million pots. And I figure as much as you guys are just watching me do this the same thing time in and time again, we're instilling confidence in you folks to do what I'm doing and not question it to death. There's a lot of things that you can sit back and question all the rules and how to do it. And then guess what? You didn't do anything. It was like planting the trees when we did that video. And how many people said, I'm guilty as charged. I didn't plant either. So let's stop that and let's start trying new things, because you don't know if you're going to fail or succeed until you do it. You're waiting the whole time. You're neither a failure or a success. You know, you're just kind of barely living. So let's stop barely living. And I got to tell you, the more I do a lot of these herbs and stuff, as much as my supporters in Ramona here would love for me to just grow tons of tomatoes, lettuce, and all that fun stuff, and I'll always have fruit and stuff, I gotta tell you guys, it is no fun growing produce for everybody. You know, it is some of the hardest things to grow, and my fellow female farmers out there know what I'm talking about. And then, you know, everybody wants the produce grown, but you know, at $4, you're like, oh God, it's expensive. Well, guess what? So I made on cabbage $50, you know, or I made $500. That's nothing. Took me 7 months to grow it. So, you know, you're going to see a lot of that in the future, guys. These people are going to start farming, then they're not going to be. So I hate to say, get ready for more expensive prices, because we can't stay in business begging you at $3 a bundle to buy it. We just can't. Fellow farmers and I have just been talking. The one gal, we were talking about a good head of Savoy cabbage. Well, 190 days to grow that, guys. So do the math yourself. 190 days. And I can't get over $5 to $6 a head. Some of them go 210 days, by the way. $5 to $6 a head. Wow. You can't even pay for your time of tending to that cabbage, let alone the water that went to it, or any other factor. So I hope I'm opening up you viewers to the fact that as you kind of go, oh my God, the farmer's market ripping everybody off. You're right. Hey, there is ripper offers for sure. But the reality is, you go out and grow it yourself and see how cheap it is to grow. And don't tell me, well, it's cheaper at the grocery store. You're right. Well, go get your GMO cabbage at that grocery store for $2 a head. Go help yourself. We're talking about real food, not Bill Gates food here, okay? And it is hard to grow. And I have been doing it for a long time. And you know what brings me more joy than anything? Stuff like this and the herbs. That's the real joy. That's the fun stuff. I could grow enough food for my family. I don't ever have to worry about starving. It's just growing for everybody else that can be pretty intense. Because, like I say, it's just a fight. What if I one year decide, oh, you know what? I can't wait. I'm going to grow some sorrel, or I'm going to grow some hickory. Oh, it's just beautiful. Love it. Oh, well, we don't like hickory. We hate hickory. It's beautiful and pink. I've never used hickory. I don't want to use it. Guys, I got to tell you, Ray is laughing because she knows the game. She knows the game. I can have the farm stand full to the top. What do you think it sold out of? Cough syrup. Did anybody buy the hickory that took me 9 months to grow, or the red celery? No. So what I'm getting at, folks, is if you just want romaine lettuce and some cabbage and some broccoli, what do you want, every person to be growing the same shit? Can't be like that. Just can't be like that. It's not even realistic. What I know in this town alone, there's quite a few farmers out here fighting to grow the same crap because that's what everybody wants. You know? And I'm not bitching to all you guys, you customers purchasing. I'm just saying, maybe it's time we try something new. Give other people options. Because as a farmer, I can't imagine just growing tomatoes and melons. That's all I want to grow. I'm only growing tomatoes and melons. Well, so is everybody else, okay? Good luck with that one. And, by the way, some of the hardest things to grow. The tomato may be a weed. We all know it's kind of a weed. But the reality is, growing without disease and get it very profitable. To sell in any type of market or farm stand situation, can't have a crack, can't have cat facing. It better not have sun scald on it. Does it look like there was spider mites on the plant that scarred the tomato? Heaven for Murgatroyd, we can't sell that. So now all your work has turned into, well, I had 2,000 pounds, but it looks like 100 of it's sellable. Come on, we got to get past this. This is ridiculous. If everybody's wanting the food to look like Bill Gates food, then go buy the Bill Gates food, because real food doesn't look like that. In Eden, it wasn't painted with coating, so the bugs didn't touch it. You know, it wasn't like that. It had scars and was deformed and a bite mark out of it. And So again, there's my little preaching to you guys, because the reality is this is just insanity. And every year I see the same thing, because you know how I see it? I run a farm stand. I've done farmers markets, tons of them. I'm involved with the community, so we call it. Something's got to change when it comes to food, you know? And my favorite is the people, you guys, you're going to farm stands that, let's call them gift shops. Because if you're going to the gift shop looking for fresh produce and supporting them, talking about your fresh farm foods, you're not even getting fresh farm food. So again, the transparency, we're going to start in next week, I believe, new videos, Ray and I, and we're taking on the female farmers in the town. And I'll give you a quick blip of it, because we're only talking impact bundle, but we're going to go sideways here for now, because what we are doing is going to open a new door for all female farmers. So all of you females out there, every one of you looking at me right now, I know you got dirty hands, you're tired, your husband hates you, your kids can't stand you, they told you we hate this farm, but you know there's some peace in it, some love, and some money. Not lots of money, but enough to pay the bills. So you farmers, you females, we're starting in Ramona and we're coming to you. We're first going to be doing Rogue Farm out here in Ramona. Been talking with her. What a beautiful setup she has. She's up to her eyeballs in craziness. And she has a feral child, which I find quite amusing. I think you'll all enjoy. Anytime you spit out a kid that's more feral than the farm animals. So we're going to be doing a tour along her farm. It should be amazing. Like I say, we're talking livestock and growing in the ground. And so how this is going to work is, we're going to go to Sweetheart Farms. She is bread central, okay? This girl bakes sourdough in her brain while she sleeps at night. Her house and farm have been converted into a commercial kitchen. She's cottage licensed. She's the number one. She is OG. Anybody that's selling in Ramona came after her, okay? This is the girl with all the bitchin' ideas, and, you know, everybody copies her, and that's just the way it goes. We get it. But I've selected those two farms because I have known them for a while now, and what I'm seeing come out of the farm is amazing. Now, how you're going to qualify to do these videos, because after we do Rogue Farm, after we do Sweetheart Farms, we're coming to you. If you're in Ramona, if you're in 92065, and you're growing in the ground, I don't mean for we're not doing homesteading here, folks. You homesteaders with a garden box and a greenhouse, you don't count. Show me your livestock. You're selling, you're eating for your family. You have to be selling. Show me your garden. I want to see rows and drip lines. Okay, now there is qualifications. And what we're trying to do with this is transparency. There's not enough transparency out there, and we want to also show who is farming. It's the women, it's the wives. Well, the husbands are at work, because out here in California, you can't just do one. You got to do both. So this is going to be an exciting new thing that's going to begin next week, and you're going to see us at the first farm. I think we start on April 2nd, and we'll keep you up to date on dates. And as soon as I get those two farms knocked out, Ramona, I'm going to open up an application. I don't know how many of you are listening to me, but if you are in Ramona 92065 and you want us to come to your farm and blow it up and show the world what you're doing, I think it's time we show these real farmers out there. And this is only for females. This time is only females, and there's a bunch of them. So I see a lot of farms popping up in this town. A gal had produced a farm stand map. So we're going to see how many true farmers are out there, because we're going to go through this map. And if you guys qualify, we want to interview you. And I don't mean an interview like, you know, we're going to put it in stone. I mean, let's get you on the map. Let's show people what you're doing so you can get more business, because you deserve more business if that's what you're doing. Again, if you're a hobby farm, we love what you're doing, okay? You're homesteading for your family. I love it. Don't be offended. You don't count. We're trying to do a little bit more than that right now. We are totally into that. Maybe in the future we'll do a homesteading thing like that. But for now, we're focusing on the bigger scale farmers and the ones that are raising livestock. And that's a really big one. You know, my hat goes off to anybody raising livestock, because I do it. And I know a lot of other women that do it. And it is a hard business. And there is no breaks. You can leave your plants. You try and leave those animals. So again, that's coming up in the future. And we have a few names, like Future Females of America. We've got a few names we're going to do. But that's just in the beginnings. So I hope you're all prepared to see that in the future. And again, I'm pointing at you, Ramona, because our town's on the map, and I'm going to put you guys all out there. I'm going to use my following to pump it up and show everybody what you're all doing here, because we are in a booming farming town, and it's all ladies.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get back to it. So much good stuff to talk about, though, you know. So many good things on the forefront. And I love, you know, when I started this, even though I had to get business for myself, I've always loved the thought of using what I have to help others. And, you know, I don't get anything out of it. It's not about that. It's about how it comes back around full circle to all of us. And there's just a lot going on in this little town Ray and I live in. And we talk all the time about, oh my gosh, what's happening here. You know, I've been in this town since 1981, and it was all just farming then, but it was nothing like now. I mean, there is a ton of farm stands, and we're going to get to the bottom of this, because what we're going to nail out in this video is what is truly at these farm stands and who are the producers. Because it's fine that you have a farm stand, you're purchasing stuff. This is big business. There's lots of people that do that. I love that you're doing that and bringing in good, wholesome food. But, you know, that's not what we're aiming for. We're not going to show those farm stands off. And again, nothing against you folks, but we're looking for the producers. I want to see this. I want to see your hands in that dirt, and we want transparency. And, you know, I would imagine if you're already purchasing it, you're probably being transparent anyway and saying, this is, you know, Sammy Hagar's bacon, you know, or whatever the hell it is. But I'm really pumped about it. And I don't just jump into things. I've already had a few meetings with these ladies, and we just, with the impact bundle and all the stuff going on, had to find the right time to be able to get this to you guys. I don't want to rush it. I don't want it to look rushed. I want it to look like, whoa-wee, man, look at what's happening here. This is amazing. Look at these farms. I want you to understand that you're going to be able to go to a lot of these farms, and you'll never have to go to the store. And I want you to know which farms you're going to want to shop at, because if you're looking for it grown right on their land, we're going to show you which ones those are. Not to say that if you're not on the video, you're not growing from the land. It's just you're going to be probably growing out of your garden box or something. And we're looking for people that are more producing on a different level. Probably like me, you know, and not even to my level. You don't have to produce that much, but we're looking for something more like that. So that is super exciting. And like I say, we might even get some FFA shirts made, Future Female Farmers of America. We won't have to do the future, but it could be.
Oh, and specialty farms too, like mushrooms.
Oh yeah, you're all included. I'm selling mushrooms for the most incredible farm, Indian Iron Farms. All of these people are included. So you do not have to be just doing produce and livestock. Again, you can do one or the other, but also mushroom farmers, you're included. Now, I'm sorry if you got a grow bag in the kitchen, it does not count. I need to see this on a producer level again. And I don't expect the transparency on some of these farms for them to put me a mask and walk me through their clean room. But we're going to bring information to you that's going to blow your mind. So maybe you're looking to get started. Maybe you're looking to produce and you're on the cusp. You're going to want to get the Homestead Bundle package, folks, I'm telling you. And you're going to want to watch my videos that are going to come after that. Because Ray and I have decided that we've got a plan now. And before it was more just growing, but it no longer is that. Yes, that's still very important, but it's taken a slight turn. That now it's going to be different. We definitely are aware we need transparency. Lots of complaints of people not knowing where the products are coming from they're buying. I've had quite a few people come to the farm stand and go, you know, I've been here, I've been there. I'm not sure where this stuff came from. They said they grew it. Well, there'll be no question, okay? The customers want to know and they have the right. I'm not farming so that I can hide stuff from them. In fact, I put it so far out there, sometimes I think I might scare some of them away. we want to make it very clear. The world is in a whole new era of wanting to get healthy, feel good, and food is at the beginning of that. So that is going to be a lot of fun. And like I say, it's going to go hand in hand with the homesteading bundle. And even more than that to come, because you know me, things just keep going crazier and crazier, and I get more and more ideas. Oh, and another something I forgot to mention. Okay, so I have been working with a group called Navor for a year and a half now. Not last summer, the summer before, a woman had contacted me. She saw my farm stand and said they were starting a new software. The software was going to be where farmers pay a subscription fee. And basically they put all their products in this beautiful software. It shows inventory, it shows the product, shows if it's available or not, a cost per pound so you can purchase it. And it's a giant database. Like, it's basically a database of we'll call it the online farmer's market. Okay, so you know how you go to a farmer's market and you see all these booths and you decide what you want? Imagine you enter the site on the internet to all these stands, all within your area. Now, these are going to be all the farm stands within your area is how they've designed it. And what is so cool about it is, now I know you guys can come right to my farm stand and buy, right? Sure you can. But you know what the biggest question I get about my farm stand is? People are coming from LA. Well, what do you have available? You don't do a list that I can see. You're right. I mean, that's too much for me to do daily. So we know the farm stand is pretty much you come, you see what's there, and you buy. Well, that's really hard. I get people from out of town all over the place. And I definitely can agree. I don't want them having to drive miles to find out their body butter wasn't even there. And I don't want to sit on the phone constantly posting or telling people what's in stock. So Navor, what does it do? You now can say, well, I'm an hour away from Christy in Ramona, and I want to get some products from her. But gosh, I don't know if that body butter is there because it wasn't there last time I came. They're going to go right to Navor. There I am. There is all my products, beautifully done. This software is amazing, guys. And boom, click it all into your shopping cart, purchase. Guess what I do? I put it all in a box, like a CSA box for you, just to come pick it up. There's no question what's in stock because it's all there, what's in stock. So this is, the beta testing is done. I've been working with them for a long time now. Mm-hmm. And if you see on the internet, Navor, that's what it is. That's what I'm a part of, and that's what's happening. Now, like, what was it? Thrive, I think, was one of those systems that you had to buy a membership to. Was that what it was, Rhea?
Thrive, yeah.
Okay, now Thrive was like it was like a Sprouts or something that you had to buy a membership to. Okay, this is the same thing. It requires a membership fee, an annual membership fee, like all those. The difference is, guys, this isn't crap mass production processed shit. This is home style organic produce, mushrooms, canned goods, meats. It's everything. I mean, they have got it set up that it is shocking. So you're gonna want to participate in this too, guys. I'm on the forefront of some bitchin' new stuff that I'm very excited about, and we're kind of coming to a point that we're getting ready to use it all. So that, again, you're gonna see it if you haven't already, Navor. So now we've talked about Navor, we've talked about the impact bundles, we've talked about Female Farmers of America. I mean, as you guys can see, I am bombarded. Okay, I'm actually farming in between all this. I don't even know how. I mean, my animals look at me like they're like, what has happened to her? So
and almost getting bit by a snake.
Oh, and then the snake almost took my life yesterday. I got to tell you, this old body flew like Wonder Woman through the air. I was a little bit sore today, without a doubt. I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever jumped that far. But in my brain, is it snapping at me and lunging? And I told Rhea, thank God for the pants I had on, because I think it really would have got me. I've never really been 1 inch from stepping on one. I've been very close where they rattled, but this one I upset so badly because I basically almost stepped on her. I could have even stepped on her, to be honest. I don't even know. I know she wasn't prepared, and neither was I. So that sucked, but here I am, which means if you don't kill me, you're never going to get rid of me. My family knows that one. They probably tried a few times, but here I am. So again, that's a lot of fun stuff, especially for the town here. And I know you guys back in Minnesota and stuff, you're going, well, what do we care, about we can't do anything with the Navore. We don't live there. I know you don't, but it's coming in your neck of the woods too, I'm sure, okay? So that's why I'm bringing light to all this, because this stuff is coming everywhere. This is the new wave of the future, how we're all going to be shopping. You no longer will have to find out from the local hodgepodgery where that farm stand is, because we're going to get it out there and we're going to drill it in your heads, and you're going to know where you want to shop. And you can, who knows, go to 10 different farm stands or go to one. But I'm going to make it very clear who is producing on a level to support your purchase. Because like I say, right now, there's so much homesteading stuff out there. We don't really need any of that. And I'm not going to include the guys in it either, because, well, the guys don't like that stuff, I'll be honest. So all my guy farmer friends, they're like, just leave me alone. We hate that social media stuff. And what are you talking about, Christy? I think I almost scare a lot of them just because they're like, here she goes again. So again, I've just decided, you know, these ladies like Rhea and Erin and Jennifer from Sweetheart. Erin has 4 children. So does Jennifer. 4 babies. And they raise their own meat. They sell their own, I think pork and lamb is what they're both producing. And I know Rogue does beef. Their husbands work. These ladies are doing this themselves with their babies on their hips, okay? Then you turn right back around, and both of them, 1 year, Jennifer at Sweetheart Farms must have gave me about 200 of the most magnificent pumpkins, not orange pumpkins, guys, the blue ones, the beautiful ones. That was her first year farming, and every year thereafter, I see she produces great stuff. So again, this is what we're aiming to show off, are these ladies that are putting in the time. It is not a hobby. It is their life. And I could be wrong, but I think both these ladies are nurses too, they had mentioned. So now we're dealing with, I think Erin doesn't work as a nurse anymore, but for all I know, they're even nursing on top of it. It's pretty impressive. And like I say, to me, it's just so worthy of getting some attention. And, you know, these ladies are struggling like the rest of us out here. So when I'm raising, I wish the fly would just leave me alone. He tosses from one knee to the next. This is how you get exercise in Ramona, so that you don't get the flies on you. So like I say, I'm just really impressed with these 2 ladies, and I'm sure, now I've only met them, I am sure there is more in this town. Because like I say, I'm seeing this farm stand map pop up. I haven't seen none of these farms, but I can only imagine that they're all doing what Jennifer and Erin is doing. If they're not, I know that there is a couple orchards. Oh, I wanted to also open up orchards. I'm sorry, we mentioned mushrooms. So you are not growing rows, you don't raise livestock, but you have an orchard, okay? Now your orchard, I'm sorry, it's got to be like at least like 25 to 50 trees. I mean, at least. Otherwise, I'm sorry, it's not an orchard. Again, I'm not at this time looking to just show off your home and, you know, that you have some citrus trees. But if you have an orchard, you're producing and selling, yes, you're involved in it. And again, look, I'm not trying to pick and exclude, but we just can't do all the hobby farms right now, because that's like every house in this town. And I do have to come to some kind of grip of what are our qualifications. So that is our qualifications. And again, I know it's a long video. Ray's going to have 95 parts of it, but there's just so much I had to say. And that's all going to begin next week. So like I say, we will be pumping out the impact bundle, and on top of it, we'll be starting our new female videos. And I'll be reminding you folks about all of it if I don't lose my mind by then, because it's definitely busy. But
before I still 10%, but do you have any Easter announcements?
Oh,
for anyone needs to know for Easter?
You know what? Not too much Easter announcement. I think I'm going to do something fun. I love giving away the free eggs. God bless you all. I might do free eggs all summer. I may never charge for eggs again. You know how good it feels to give for free? I don't even give a heck what's going on in my life, because my life ain't so great. But you know what is great? When I give stuff away. It feels better than my lifetime's 50-fold. So I love giving you guys the eggs. I hope there's enough for everybody. My girls are pumping out. It looks like 500 eggs a day. I can't even, they're not, but it's a lot. So we've definitely got that sale going on, and we'll probably have something fun for Easter, folks. I haven't really thought too far ahead because right now, trying to get through, you know, the impact bundle and stuff, but I can assure you over here at Little Patch of Heaven, we're going to do something special for Easter. You know, I don't know what. Maybe everybody gets a free calendula plant or something, but we're going to do something special because Easter's pretty special to me. I mean, technically, the fact that Jesus rose should be bigger than a plant and free eggs, but you know, I got to do something special because it sure means a lot to me and sure a special day. So be on the lookout because you know we're always being crazy over here coming up with something new to give away or something new to talk about. But Easter's on the way, guys, so be blessed and get to farming because we want to video you. We want to show you off and we want to get some business your way so that your farm can be a success and you can give that access of good food to people that they're looking for. So again, sorry about the super long video, but I hope you guys can watch it all the way through. And there's just a lot of good stuff to look forward to.